Now we're going to start working on our helper class. So open the helper.php file, which is located inside of the classes folder. First thing we're going to do is remove this getActive method completely, because we're no longer using this. And now if we scroll right to the bottom, after clean string, we're going to create a new method. This time the method is going to be named in a very similar way. It's going to be called clear string this time. So public static function clear string. We've used this clear string obviously inside of our URL class, 2 parameters, string equals null, and then what we want to remove from it in the form of the array equals null. Now we check if is an empty string and exclamation self is empty array. We're checking if array isn't empty. Now isn't empty obviously is the method which we create in just a second, but isn't empty basically checks whether it's really not empty, because by default empty function, PHP function checks and it would be true if we send the 0 in a parameter as well, which 0 is obviously numerical number, and we don't want this to be empty. Obviously this is still a value for us. So but we'll create this method in just a second. So array we start equals self make array, and we pass the array as parameter to make sure that array, if it's just one parameter, if it's a single value, then it's still converted to array. Then for each array s key equals value. And what we do now is string equals string replace, and we're going to be replacing value with nothing and string. And then after all this, we return string. And that's it inside of this method. Now the next method we're going to create is this isEmpty one. So scroll down and public static function isEmpty. And we pass the value as parameter. By default it's going to be null, and what we do is simply use the return empty value and isn't numerical, so isn't numeric value, because 0 is numeric, so that would obviously return false. If both of them they are true, then it is empty, so it's true, otherwise it's false. So that's our isEmpty method. The last method inside of the helper is called makeArray. So scroll down, few new lines, and the new methods, again static, so public static function makeArray, and we pass array as parameter, by default null, and we return now isArray array, then simply return it, otherwise makeArray, so array, and put the value into array, so array. And that's everything inside of our helper class.